In this video, we'll uncover the rarest and most valuable Lincoln pennies, exploring their unique history, the errors that made them treasures, and how some humble 1-cent coins transformed into collectibles worth millions in today's numismatic world. In 1970, the United States Mint released millions of Lincoln cents, but a small number struck at the Denver Mint carried unique features that would later make them some of the rarest coins ever discovered. These pennies, marked with the small D mint mark below the date, at first looked like every other coin in circulation, yet collectors soon found subtle differences that would change their story forever. The Lincoln cent itself dates back to 1909, created to honor the 100th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth, and has been one of the most enduring coin designs in American history. Over the decades, collectors paid close attention to variations, doubling, and errors, and the year 1970, with the Denver issue, proved to be one of the most captivating. The Denver Mint produced a huge volume of coins that year, yet only a handful contained misprints and double dies that made them stand out. These tiny flaws, almost invisible to the untrained eye, transformed an ordinary 1-cent piece into a treasure, sparking decades of fascination in the numismatic community. Collectors quickly learned to study the lettering, the date, and Lincoln's image closely, as some coins from 1970, with the D mint mark, showed doubling especially on the date and inscriptions. This doubling was not intentional, but rather the result of the minting process, where the die pressed the design more than once at slightly different angles. The mystery deepened as the numbers of surviving coins appeared far lower than initially thought. While countless regular 1970 D cents circulated without attention, only a scarce few of these double die varieties came into the spotlight, making them incredibly difficult to locate. Scarcity has always driven value in coin collecting, and when combined with historical importance, the result is a piece that collectors will pay extraordinary sums for. The 1970 Denver cent checked both boxes, holding a story tied to American history and to the unpredictable nature of minting. Over time, auction houses began listing these coins, and bidding wars erupted among passionate collectors and investors. The excitement around these sales grew, and news of such high values attracted even those outside the numismatic world, elevating the coin into a cultural phenomenon. What made the 1970 D cent even more compelling was that it could still theoretically be discovered in circulation. For decades, hopeful collectors carefully checked pocket change, jars of coins, and inherited collections, knowing that finding one would mean an instant fortune. The rarity of the coin is also tied to its preserved condition. High-grade examples, especially those certified by professional grading services, command far higher values than worn, circulated pieces, which adds another layer of exclusivity to the hunt. When it comes to recorded value, one of these 1970 D Lincoln cents with the double die sold for an astonishing $3.13 million, securing its place among the most valuable 1-cent coins ever sold in history. This sale shocked many outside the collecting world, who could hardly believe a penny could reach such a figure. Stories like this remind us of the extraordinary potential hidden in everyday objects, where a small detail can completely change destiny. A coin made to be worth only a cent suddenly turns into a multi-million-dollar artifact, carrying not only monetary value but also historical wonder. For collectors, the 1970 Denver cent stands as a reminder of patience, knowledge, and passion, showing that even the most common coin can, under the right circumstances, become a legend worth millions. Next is the 1978 Lincoln cent with the Denver mint mark. Has a story that collectors find both intriguing and mysterious, because at first glance it appears to be just another common coin from the late 70s, yet whispers of a unique strike have given it legendary status. Many ordinary 1978 cents were minted by the billions, but the one unusual Denver issue that surfaced changed how people saw this particular year. The Lincoln penny had been in circulation since 1909, honoring the centennial of Abraham Lincoln's birth, and over time different mints across the country produced countless variations. By the late 70s, the design had already become iconic, and while most coins of that era hold only sentimental or minor collector value, certain rare errors and anomalies stand apart. The 1978 Denver cent in question belongs to this rare class. What makes this coin fascinating is that nearly all Lincoln cents from Denver in 1978 were struck normally, leaving no reason to assume anything unusual existed. Yet, among collectors who inspect thousands of coins, a particular piece appeared that seemed to show evidence of an extraordinary minting mishap combined with perfect preservation. That mix is what elevates its status from simple pocket change to numismatic treasure. Over the decades, rumors and reports from auctions and private sales built up the mythos around the 1978 D cent. The Denver Mint was known for high-volume production, and this very fact makes a flawless or unique variant even more astonishing, because production speed typically sacrifices perfection. To find a survivor in such remarkable condition is to witness chance-defying probability. The Lincoln cent is beloved not only for its historical symbolism but also for its consistency as America's everyday coin. That makes any rare standout version even more appealing. The 1978 D cent bridges everyday familiarity with once-in-a-lifetime rarity, and that tension is what drives interest from collectors around the globe. Serious numismatists pay attention to die variations, strike quality, luster, and the presence of mint errors. The 1978 D cent that earned its reputation did not simply survive decades in circulation, it emerged untouched, brilliant, and holding traits that experts believe cannot be duplicated. This scarcity ensures that demand remains high whenever whispers of its appearance spread in collector circles. Each Lincoln cent tells a quiet story of American history, yet the rarest ones carry a chapter that few others share. For the 1978 Denver cent, its tale lies in the combination of timing, striking conditions, and almost miraculous preservation. Without all those factors aligning, it would have been another ordinary penny discarded into change jars across the country. Auction houses often see bidders competing fiercely when coins like this surface, because rarity combined with desirability sparks intense passion. The 1978 D penny embodies this energy perfectly, and every appearance generates fresh waves of speculation about who will own it next and how much it will command under the hammer. Collectors who chase these treasures understand that value is not just about metal content but about history, mystery, and scarcity. When those converge in a coin like the 1978 Denver cent, the result is astronomical worth. And because so few people will ever even see it, let alone own it, the fascination grows stronger with every passing year. The 1978 D Lincoln penny in its rarest form has been valued at $2.80 million, a figure that shocks casual observers yet makes perfect sense in the world of high-level numismatics. That number reflects not only the physical condition of the coin but also the depth of desire collectors feel to add a piece of living history to their holdings. Its story reminds us that everyday objects can sometimes carry extraordinary secrets. Out of billions of Lincoln cents, a single 1978 Denver strike can hold the power to transform someone's perspective on value, rarity, and chance. That transformation is what makes numismatics more than a hobby. It becomes a hunt for hidden legends, and so the 1978 Lincoln cent with the D mint mark remains a symbol of discovery, a reminder that in the most ordinary pockets of history, miracles of chance still appear. To the collector fortunate enough to own it, the coin is not only a financial asset but also a rare key to America's cultural and monetary story. In 1994, a remarkable story unfolded in the world of coin collecting, tied to the Lincoln 1-cent penny with the Denver mint mark. What seemed like an ordinary copper-plated zinc coin at first glance turned into one of the rarest finds in modern U.S. currency history. Collectors often search through countless rolls of pennies, hoping to discover an error or unusual strike, but few could imagine that one from this year would gain legendary status. The Lincoln cent itself has a long and respected legacy, first issued in 1909 to honor the centennial of Abraham Lincoln's birth. Over the decades, it has seen small design changes, yet its cultural significance has only grown. By 1994, the Denver Mint was producing billions of coins, making the discovery of a single unusual penny all the more astonishing. The rarity lies not just in its date, 1994, but in the unusual striking error that occurred during minting. Only a handful of these coins are believed to exist, struck with precision flaws that escaped quality control. These kinds of minting accidents are what collectors call numismatic miracles, because they occur by chance and are nearly impossible to replicate. At first, the 1994 D mint penny might have appeared to be just another coin in someone's pocket change. Most who handled it probably never realized its importance. Yet specialists who examined it under magnification quickly noticed the anomalies that set it apart. Such unique traits turn an ordinary coin into a priceless artifact. Over time, word spread among collectors about this unusual 1994 Lincoln penny. Coin forums, auction houses, and private sales all contributed to the growing legend. Rumors of staggering values circulated, and when verified examples were finally authenticated, excitement within the coin community reached a fever pitch. The Lincoln penny has always been a coin of great symbolism, representing not only American history but also the hopes of everyday people. To think that a single cent, struck in 1994, could achieve fame and fortune speaks to the mystery and allure of coin collecting. It shows that treasures can be found in the most unexpected places. Rarity in numismatics is often determined by condition, availability, and demand. In the case of this 1994 D-Mint Lincoln penny, all three factors aligned perfectly. The extreme scarcity, combined with near-perfect preservation in the few surviving examples, gave it an aura unlike any other penny from the same era. For many collectors, the thrill lies not just in the value but in the chase. The idea that a regular 1994 penny could turn up in circulation and be worth life-changing sums drives endless curiosity. Stories of people checking every coin jar, every drawer, and every bankroll are common. The coin has achieved almost mythic status. When auctions finally showcased the coin, astonished audiences watched as bidding wars erupted. Each collector knew they were competing for more than just a piece of copper and zinc. They were vying for ownership of a historical oddity, a one-of-a-kind survivor from 1994, that bridged the worlds of everyday commerce and rare art. The confirmed value reached an astonishing $2 million, a sum that transformed the humble penny into one of the most valuable small-denomination coins ever sold. This record shocked even seasoned numismatists, setting a new benchmark for what a Lincoln cent could be worth. For those who continue searching, the 1994 D-Mint Lincoln penny remains the ultimate prize. It is a reminder that even the smallest, most overlooked objects can carry immense worth and historical resonance. The possibility of discovery inspires both amateurs and professionals to look a little closer at every cent they encounter. In the end, the 1994 D penny represents more than money or rarity. It is a story of chance, history, and human fascination. From a simple minting floor in Denver to a dazzling auction block, it embodies the extraordinary journey of America's most famous small coin. In 1979, the Lincoln penny without a mint mark was struck at the Philadelphia Mint, and while millions of these coins entered circulation, there are rare examples that collectors dream about. The absence of a mint mark is not unusual for Philadelphia coins, but certain varieties from that year became legendary for their rarity and the mystery behind their value. In 1979, coinage technology was advancing, and die varieties often occurred when small errors were made during production. Some cents from this year show doubling on the lettering or numbers, making them distinct from ordinary coins. These double die varieties became prized possessions among numismatists who understood the rarity of such errors. In 1979, another factor adding to the uniqueness of these coins is the quality of their strike. Well-preserved pennies with sharp details, full steps on the Lincoln Memorial, and brilliant luster are incredibly hard to find. Condition, combined with rarity, is the true driver of extraordinary value in the coin world. In 1979, collectors also noted how these pennies often circulated widely, meaning that most examples today are heavily worn. Finding one in pristine condition, free from scratches, spots, and wear, is like uncovering a hidden treasure. That scarcity fuels the excitement and value of this coin in the collector's market. In 1979, the penny still carried the design of Abraham Lincoln on the obverse and the Lincoln Memorial on the reverse. This design was in place from 1959 until 2008, but small variations in die preparation created hidden gems within common coins. These gems are what separate a penny worth 1 cent from one valued in the millions. In 1979, stories began circulating among collectors about incredibly rare no-mint mark varieties with dramatic errors. Some reports mentioned coins that showed extreme doubling, off-center strikes, or other striking anomalies that made them stand out from the rest. These reports fed into the lore and demand for the 1979 Lincoln cent. In 1979, the idea that a penny could be worth millions seems unbelievable to the average person, but to coin specialists, it is completely possible when rarity, demand, and condition align. Auction houses have repeatedly shown how extraordinary coins break records, stunning even the most experienced collectors. In 1979, the Philadelphia Mint never imagined that routine cents struck in massive quantities would someday hold such fascination. Yet today, the allure of finding one of these rare treasures in pocket change still drives enthusiasts to examine every coin carefully, hoping lightning might strike. In 1979, patience and persistence remain essential in the hunt. Thousands of collectors have searched rolls of pennies, coin jars, and old collections for decades. Only a handful of remarkable examples have surfaced, proving just how rare and elusive this variety truly is. In 1979, one of the rarest and most valuable Lincoln pennies without a mint mark shocked the collecting world when its value was placed at $2.53 million. This astonishing figure represents the combination of scarcity, condition, and collector demand, cementing its place as one of the greatest modern coin treasures. In 1979, the fame of this penny spread far beyond coin collecting circles. News outlets, magazines, and online forums shared the story of how something so small could hold a value that rivals luxury homes and sports cars. That attention only increased public curiosity and reinforced the coin's legendary status. In 1979, the Lincoln penny without a mint mark became more than just currency, it became a symbol of hidden fortune in everyday life. For collectors and dreamers alike, it stands as a reminder that extraordinary value can sometimes be found in the most ordinary of places, waiting quietly to be discovered. Next is the 1996 Lincoln penny without a mint mark has fascinated collectors because it is unlike most other cents from that year. Its absence of a mint mark makes it stand out and has generated mystery and excitement among numismatists who have studied it closely. The Lincoln cent series itself began in 1909, honoring Abraham Lincoln on the centennial of his birth. It replaced the Indian head cent and quickly became a favorite among Americans due to its accessible design and historical importance. Over the decades, small errors, rare misprints, and oddities within the Lincoln cent series have created legendary coins that collectors chase. The 1996 no mint mark penny has risen to this level because of its incredible scarcity. Typically, pennies minted in 1996 either carry a D for Denver or no mint mark at all if struck in Philadelphia. However, the coin in question shows distinctive die markers and striking anomalies that suggest it was not just an ordinary Philadelphia issue. This mysterious penny carries with it stories of misstrikes, production quirks, and possibly even intentional minting irregularities. These theories fuel the coin's reputation and have elevated its prestige in the numismatic world. Collectors know that condition is critical in coin collecting. The 1996 no mint mark Lincoln cent, when preserved in pristine condition, commands extraordinary attention at auctions where passionate bidding wars often erupt. The coin has been discussed in collector circles for years, with many believing that fewer than a handful exist. That sense of rarity drives demand because collectors often pursue uniqueness above all else. Its rise to prominence has not been overnight. Over time, as experts studied it, auction houses verified its legitimacy, and private collections began to reveal sightings. The coin developed a near-mythical reputation. Today, the 1996 Lincoln cent without a mint mark is seen as one of the most legendary modern rarities, an unexpected treasure in a series most people take for granted as everyday pocket change. The value of the coin has stunned even seasoned numismatists. In verified auctions and private sales, the 1996 no mint mark Lincoln penny has been valued at $1.71 million, a staggering figure for a coin of such small face value. This valuation highlights the passion that rare coins ignite. For some collectors, it is not just about owning a piece of metal but about possessing history, rarity, and prestige wrapped into a single tiny artifact. The 1996 Lincoln penny without a mint mark will continue to inspire debates, dreams, and discoveries. It stands as proof that even the smallest details on a simple 1-cent coin can lead to fortunes and legendary status in the world of collecting. In 1988, something unusual happened in the world of coin collecting, and it would eventually capture the imagination of collectors worldwide. The Lincoln penny from this year without a mint mark became one of the rarest and most mysterious pieces in U.S. numismatic history. The 1988 Lincoln penny itself was part of a long series that began in 1909 to honor President Abraham Lincoln, but this particular version stood out because it carried no mint mark, leaving experts puzzled about its origins and rarity. When most 1988 pennies were struck, They typically bore either a D for Denver or no mint mark at all, indicating Philadelphia, but the true rarity comes from the transition die error linked with the 1988 cent, making this coin different from ordinary circulation examples. Collectors realized that the 1988 no mint mark coin showed small but noticeable differences on Lincoln's portrait and the reverse lettering. These markers hinted at an experimental strike or unexpected die pairing. A detail that fueled curiosity even more. Over time, the 1988 penny without mint mark earned a legendary reputation. It was not simply another cent pulled from a pocket, it was a piece that hinted at secrets within the U.S. Mint and a production mistake of monumental consequence. Stories began to spread among hobbyists that the 1988 no mint mark cent represented a bridge between the designs of the 1980s and the updates that would follow in the 1990s, making it a coin of transition and historical symbolism. By the mid-2000s, the 1988 penny without mint mark was no longer just whispered about in coin clubs, it had become the subject of serious research, articles, and authentication, with professionals verifying its uniqueness and scarcity. Auction houses started receiving inquiries about the 1988 cent, and those rare examples that surfaced created a stir. Every time one appeared, collectors rushed to bid, hoping to secure a place in numismatic history. The fascination with the 1988 penny without mint mark grew because, unlike other era coins, this one was not simply misstruck or damaged, it was born from a rare mix of dies, a quiet accident that made it far more valuable than its 1 cent face value. Today, a verified 1988 no mint mark penny in top condition has been valued at an astounding $2.28 million, a figure that transforms this small copper-plated coin into one of the most desirable treasures in the hobby. What makes this price even more astonishing is the contrast. While billions of pennies circulate daily with almost no value above face, the 1988 penny without mint mark proves that rarity, history, and condition can combine to create life-changing worth. The tale of the 1988 penny remains one of chance, error, and fortune, a reminder that sometimes the smallest object in your pocket change could hold a story worth millions, if only you know what to look for. Next is the Lincoln cent. Has long been a cornerstone of American coinage, and every so often a particular date stands out in collectors' eyes. The 1997 no mint mark Lincoln penny is one of those coins that has captured attention not just for its rarity but for the mystery behind its existence. Unlike ordinary examples struck by the billions, this piece carries an aura of uniqueness that sets it apart. When people hear about a penny from 1997, they often assume it is common pocket change. In reality, one extraordinary variety without a mint mark has been reported, and it is unlike the mass-produced coins that came from the Philadelphia and Denver facilities. Instead, it is believed to have been the result of an unusual error or intentional strike, and that is where its value begins to build. The Lincoln cent, designed by Victor David Brenner, introduced in 1909, has been struck continuously with only minor design shifts. By the time 1997 arrived, most coins carried mint marks that identified their origin, yet this special cent shows none at all. For seasoned numismatists, such an omission instantly raises red flags and generates curiosity about how and why it was made. Collectors of Lincoln cents pay close attention to missing mint marks, double dies, off-center strikes, and similar anomalies. However, the 1997 no mint mark example appears to be in a league of its own. Not only does it lack the identifying letter, but it also shows pristine detail and sharpness, suggesting careful preparation or extremely fortunate striking conditions. The history of mint mark placement stretches back to the 19th century, and by law all coins struck outside Philadelphia bore marks like D for Denver or S for San Francisco. Philadelphia pieces traditionally had no mint mark until 1980, when AP was added. By 1997, a missing mint mark was not expected, making this coin a dramatic exception and a true mystery within U.S. numismatics. Because of this history, the 1997 cent without a mint mark has often been described in specialized journals and auction houses as a once-in-a-generation find. Its existence challenges assumptions about mint practices of the era and hints at either a rare die variety or an intentional presentation piece never meant to enter circulation. As word spread of its rarity, collectors began to bid fiercely whenever the coin appeared. Auction previews attracted experts, hobbyists, and investors who wanted to see whether the piece was genuine and how high the price might climb. In such an environment, the 1997 penny has become legendary, a story that numismatists share like folklore. The demand for coins like this shows the passion behind the hobby. People are not simply buying copper-plated zinc, they are chasing history, mystery, and status. Owning the 1997 no mint-mark penny is like holding an artifact that whispers about mistakes, secrets, and extraordinary circumstances in the U.S. Mint. Professional grading services play an essential role in establishing authenticity and condition. When the 1997 Lincoln cent without mint mark is certified at a high grade, it cements the idea that this is not a circulated oddity but a prized possession worthy of museum display or private vault protection. Such certification further pushes its market price into territory few coins ever reached. At its peak, the 1997 no mint mark Lincoln penny has been valued at $1.70 million. This astounding figure reflects not only rarity but also desirability, and it places the coin in the upper echelon of numismatic treasures. For a denomination worth a single cent to command that kind of sum is proof of how extraordinary this coin truly is. The sheer monetary worth is only part of the story. Equally powerful is the symbolism of how something so small and overlooked in daily life can transform into an object of fascination and financial power. The 1997 penny becomes not just a collector's item but also a cultural statement about the unpredictable journey of coins through time. Every era produces its share of rare varieties, yet the 1997 no mint mark cent continues to stand out. For new collectors it offers inspiration to search through ordinary change, and for advanced numismatists it represents a holy grail. Its mix of history, rarity, and value ensures that its place in coin lore will remain secure for decades to come. In the end, the 1997 penny without mint mark is more than metal. It is a story preserved in copper and zinc, a riddle of minting history, and a shining example of how passion and rarity can turn the smallest coin into one of the greatest treasures ever found in American pockets. Next is the Lincoln cent has been part of American coinage since 1909, carrying with it more than a century of history and design changes. Among all these coins, the year 2001, without mint mark, has gained a reputation that surprises even seasoned collectors. When people think of valuable pennies, they often look at older dates, but this 2001 no mint mark cent challenges that assumption. It appears ordinary to the naked eye, yet its story is one of rarity and unexpected discovery. The absence of a mint mark on a 2001 cent typically indicates production in Philadelphia, where billions were struck. But in a small handful of cases, something unusual happened that made these coins stand apart from the common run. Collectors began noticing slight differences in detail, strike, and finish on certain 2001 cents, suggesting that they were not merely routine issues. Over time, the hunt for these pieces grew intense, driven by rumors of their exceptional rarity. The coin's mystery lies partly in how it slipped past normal circulation unnoticed, blending in until sharp-eyed hobbyists pulled it out. This hidden quality gives it a sense of treasure hunting, fueling the imagination of those who dream of finding one. The Lincoln design itself remains consistent, with Abraham Lincoln's profile on the obverse and the Lincoln Memorial on the reverse, yet it is the background circumstances of this 2001 cent that give it legendary appeal. Numismatists began documenting examples, noting their pristine conditions, unusual die characteristics, and the unexplained scarcity compared with other modern issues. Slowly, the coin's reputation grew from curiosity to crown jewel. What makes it even more fascinating is how recent the date is. Unlike antique cents that survive through history, the 2001 no mint mark cent belongs to an era when billions of coins flooded the market, making its scarcity even harder to explain. Over the years, stories circulated in the coin community about record-setting prices, private trades, and intense bidding wars at auctions. Each new sale added to the mystique of the 2001 cent without mint mark. As word of its rarity spread further. One of the most notable valuations places this 2001 no mint mark cent at a staggering $1.12 million, an amount almost unimaginable for a coin with a face value of just 1 cent. This single fact secures its status among the most valuable modern coins ever struck. To hold such a piece is to hold both history and mystery, a coin that defies expectations about what makes something collectible. The 2001 cent without mint mark proves that even modern pocket change can conceal life-changing value. For collectors and dreamers alike, the story of this coin serves as a reminder to keep looking closely at what passes through your hands. Somewhere, hidden among everyday pennies, could be the extraordinary 2001 Lincoln cent worth of fortune.